Hello my chickadees and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a 12-hour readathon. Okay, yes, I know that usually the trend is to do a 24-hour readathon, but honestly the fact that I have a Saturday free to be able to do even a 12-hour readathon is pretty huge. I can't remember the last time I had a weekend free just to myself here in the house in which I could do that. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I have a 3-day weekend, but Sunday and Monday I'm gonna be spent doing activities. So today, crazy enough, like I said, it's totally free, so I can actually spend the whole day reading. So, you know, it's not as crazy as some of the 24-hour people who do either a straight 24 hours or they split it up over 2 days. I'm gonna take what I'm gonna get and I'm gonna try and take full advantage of it because today is today is May 24th. The end of the month is next week and I still have several books on my May TBR that I want to try and get through. I'm also behind on my yearly reading goal. I am someone who is very like numbers and goal oriented, so I am really trying to do that. January and February were really slow months for me. I only read one book in January and I think like 2 in February, so I've been trying to play catch up ever since just to try and like reach my goal. But yeah, so here's the plan for today for the next 12 hours. So the first book I need to finish is one that I actually started on May 1st, and remember today's May 24th, but it is this book called Diary of a Left-Handed Birdwatcher. I got this from my local library. It is a memoir of a birdwatcher. He is also a poet and he's just like recording his experiences with birdwatching, but also like trying to find a snow bunting, which is a type of bird. I thought this would be really exciting. It's all like kind of written into these like small little sections. Like usually each section isn't more than 2 or 3 pages. So I was like, oh, this will just be really easy to read. It's like a small book. It's short. It's like 130 pages. This has so far been incredibly boring, and he's also he has a very pretentious view on birding and bird watching that I find unrelatable as a birder, and I'm just really having a hard time with it. Yeah, could I DNF it? Sure. I tend to not. I have to like really actively hate a book or like think that it's really stupid, and even though I am not enjoying this, again, back to like my goals that I mentioned earlier, one of my goals for this year is to read more nonfiction books, and I want those books to be specifically about birds. So I figured I'd start with this one, and it's not going well. But another reason why I'm not going to DNF it is because it is just so short. I'm on page like 81 and there's 138 pages. So literally I just need to read these next 50 pages. I'll be able to do that in hopefully under an hour if I don't fall asleep while doing it. But I just want to like mark this as done and then bring it back to the library. So that is goal number 1. Another book that I want to try to accomplish is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. So this is on my May TBR as a book with a one-word title. I think that's why I picked this one up. So love V.E. Schwab. Like Addie LaRue was awesome. I am really looking forward to Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil next month. So yeah, I think this one sounds really interesting. It's 334 pages, I think. I believe the estimated time for me to be able to read it based on my reading speed is going to be about 5.5 hours. So I might be able to do this whole book in this video. So the other books that I have on my TBR for this month, I have The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. So this was my prompt of a book that has more than 5 words in the title. So this is vampire-y, and you know that I love vampires, so there's that. How long is this one? It's 404 pages in this book, which, let me do my math. So that would take a little under 7 hours. I also have Titan Mage. This prompt was, I think it's a book that's under 400 pages. And this one has 336, so it would likely also take, similar to Gallant, to read, in which it would be about 5.5 hours. Then we have North is the Night by Dr. Emily Rath. I talked about this before in the TBR jar picks my books for the month, but I love the Pucking Around series. I'm so excited for Pucking Strong in September. How long is this book? 570 pages. So again, let me do some math then. All right, so this one will take about 9.5 hours-ish. So I might not start this one on this video. That's okay, because I mean, I'll definitely still have time over the next like 7 days to do it. I do really want to do Titan Mage just because, so it's like a local-ish author, and I met her at South Carolina Comic-Con. She was cool. She signed my book. She said, "To Jordan, the spice will flow." And I don't know if that's going to be a reference to this book or if she's specifically referencing Dune. Like, I don't know. But this is supposed to be a wild time. Like, it literally says on the back, "Warning, Titan Mage is a fun fantasy adventure containing steam, both punk and smutty. Raunchy, sausage-obsessed mechanics, lusty airship captains, prurient mech pilots, and saucy language to match. So don't read it and then complain about the spice. Y'all know exactly what you're getting into." But yeah, she was kind of like, if you want to read a book that feels like an anime world, do this. And I was like, okay, like I'll try anything. So it says it's a harem fantasy adventure. Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Like I said, I am not even really entirely sure what it is. So I guess there's like this woman, she's just like a woman who feels unfulfilled in her life. Like her husband's never home, her kids are like growing up and they're not around, and so I guess she joins a book club, and then this man shows up and he's like really attractive and kind of like, I guess he's a vampire? I don't know. Maybe I'll do this one. I thought this author's note part was really interesting because, like I said, I wasn't sure if it was actually going to be about vampires or if it was going to be about serial killers, and just kind of like they're just using the term vampires for the book cover. I don't know, but it says this is also a book about vampires. They're that iconic American archetype of the rambling man wearing denim, wandering from town to town with no past and no ties. Think Jack Kerouac, think Shane, think Woody Guthrie, think Ted Bundy. Because vampires are the original serial killers. Stripped of everything that makes us human, they have no friends, no family, no roots, no children. All they have is hunger. They eat and eat, but they're never full. With this book, I wanted to pit a man freed from all responsibilities but his appetites against women whose lives are shaped by their endless responsibilities. I wanted to pit Dracula against my mom. As you'll see, it's not a fair fight. Actually, okay, I might do this one. I will make a game day decision after I finish Gallant on whether I want to do Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires or Titan Mage. So that's that. It's 12:09 right now, so I'll be finishing after midnight, and that's okay because I usually like go to bed between 12 and 1 anyway, so like that's not really disturbing my life all that much. I did have big plans to like, I set my alarm this morning for 8 a.m. so I could like get up and be ready and start at 9, so I could just go from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Like I said, I haven't had a Saturday free in so long, so I took advantage of that and slept in and like had a nice breakfast and stuff. But with that, let's get started with Diary of a Left-Handed Birdwatcher, and then we will transition over to Gallant. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you in just a little bit as I am reading. So much of this book is the author, Leonard, who is a poet by trade, arguing with his best friend, Lewis, who is an ornithologist. So it's his like professional scientific job to study birds. Like, he goes out into the field, they trap birds, they observe the birds, they ban the birds, they release them, they keep track of them. He, like, you know, understands all of the, like, physiological makeup of birds and blah, 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 all this stuff. So all they do is, like, argue. And the author, Leonard, is very like, oh, like, studying birds means that you're not appreciating birds, and you need to be having, like, an emotional experience every time you go to read the birds. And Lewis is like, okay, but, like, it's also really important to study the birds so that we can know about them and things like that. So he, like, just got into this argument. They, like, well, they're like, you know, how intelligent men sit around smoking cigars in their studies and argue, you know, professional disagreements, basically. Lewis is like, hey, like, you genuinely believe that your understanding of birds is, like, higher or better than mine, but, like, I understand, like, how birds fly, what they look like on the inside, how they operate, how they work. And he's like, all you know is, like, what they look like on the outside, and you can, like, ID them, and, like, that's kind of it. And so he's like, I don't really like that you're saying that you have this, like, higher understanding of birds. And then the author, Leonard, goes and grabs a book and pulls out a sample of a poem about penguins, reads it to his scientist friend, and then he's like, what are you doing? What point are you trying to make? And he's like, this is just one example of how poetry is a higher understanding of birds because it puts to language what it is to be a bird. And Lewis is like, okay. It's so stupid. It's like, neither one of you is right and neither one of you is wrong. Like, we can all experience and enjoy birds in all these different ways, but they are both so convinced that there is only, like, one correct way to do it. It's this black and white thought process that's really frustrating to read about. Okay, so just finished hour 1 and I have completed The Diary of a Left-Handed Birdwatcher, and it was whatever. This book, when I started it at the beginning of the month, it started off really strong. Like, there were multiple things that the author was saying that were very relatable as a birdwatcher. There were some quotes that I really liked. Like, I was immediately like, oh man, I wish I owned this copy of the book so I could highlight it. But then after like 20 pages, that's when I started to, like, really dislike this man. The book, like, describes itself as, you know, he's going on a quest to try and spot the elusive snow bunting. And it ends with, like, he's sitting around a table with some other people that he goes birding with. Excuse me, he doesn't like the term birding because birding implies that you keep lists. He's a bird watcher. They're the same. Anyways, so he's sitting around with a group of people after a bird watching excursion, and they're like, what's a bird that you really want to see? And so he's like, I want to see the snow bunting. And like everyone in the group was like, we know you want to see the snow bunting. So someone else in the group was like, why don't you just book a tour to Alaska where you can see them? And he was like, well, where's the fun in that? There's no adventure in that. It's like going to an aviary and the bird is just trapped there. And he's like, but like, you want to see the bird, go see the bird. So then the very last page is him like getting to the airport. What does it say? Or like getting off the plane. Hang on, let me find the exact quote. Yeah. So the very last page is him like getting ready to go to the airport, so that we have to assume that he's actually going to Alaska so that he can finally see this bird. So he never sees it. I would say overall 2.5 stars. Like for me, like a 1-star rating is like, I hated the book, I DNF'd it. A 2-star rating is, I didn't like the book, but I finished it. I would only maybe push it up to 2.5, just because there are some like things that I could relate to in the book. Like I said, there were some quotes that I liked. So I guess 2.5 overall. I'll have to sit on it and think before I rate it, but whatever. I can return this to the library now. All right, so that means we have 11 hours left. So I'm going to start Gallant by V.E. Schwab. So if you haven't heard of this one before, it says, there must always be a Pryor at the gate. All her life, Olivia Pryor has wondered who she truly is and where she belongs. Her only clue is her mother's slim, battered journal full of elusive, unraveling entries. Then a letter beckons Olivia home to Gallant, the one place her mother's journal warns her never to go. There she finds a manor with a sprawling, vibrant garden and the crumbling ruin of a garden wall with an iron door. A door that she must never open. But no one will tell her what lies beyond the door, what is always trying to get out. Did the shadows call Olivia home? What will they ask of her in return? So yeah, let's do that. Remember this, the shadows are not real. The dreams can never hurt you, and you will be safe as long as you stay away from Gallant. Here we go. So, one chapter in, like 10 pages. So our main character, Olivia, I guess she either doesn't have the ability to speak or like chooses not to, because she uses sign language to communicate. She's in like a girls' school to like train them to be ladies' maids and cooks and, you know, things like that, I guess, for people with high houses. And there's like the matrons who run the house, and one of them had taught her how to speak in sign language, but she's not there anymore and no one else bothered to learn. So like they gave her a chalkboard that she can use to write things on, but she doesn't want to use that. And I guess they like underestimate her and just think that she's really dumb, but she's like clever. So she's just like imagining escaping, I guess. But yeah, so far so good. That's all I know. I'm just curious if she like physically can't speak, or if there's a reason like that she's chosen not to. I don't know how old she is yet. I have to assume she's like a teenager, like 16 maybe is my assumption. We'll see as we kind of keep going. Okay, so it seems like she's physically unable to speak. So I'm on chapter 9, page 88, and I am 26% into the book. It reads really easily, but the overall plot hasn't quite been introduced yet. So Olivia has made it to this house. The house is called Gallant. She has learned a little bit about her mom, that she's an orphan, so she didn't really know anything about her. Her mom grew up in this house. But otherwise, I am still very unsure where this is going to go. I'm really hoping in the next like couple of chapters, I'm gonna learn like what's supposed to happen here. And kind of like even reading the description on the back, it doesn't even really say what it's going to be about. It just says, a door that she must never open. No one will tell her what lies beyond the door, what's always trying to get out. Did the shadows call Olivia home? What will they ask of her in return? So, I don't know. She found a weird room, but but nothing has been done with it yet. So, I'm curious, but we are getting into that zone where we're supposed to like learn about what's happening. What's the goal? What's the end game here? Because this is a standalone. Right? Ooh, let me check real quick. Okay, yes, it is a standalone. One thing I love about V.E. Schwab is she does do a lot of standalones, and that's awesome because sometimes you just want to like read a book and be done. You don't want to have like a 4, 5, 10 book series all the time. Like it's kind of nice to just have like a quick escape into something. So yeah. All right, anyways, I think I might move to the couch to be a little bit more cozier. So we're gonna keep reading. There's just over 9 hours left in the readathon. Okay, so I'm now 42% into the book, page 141. Still not really any plot. It's very mysterious. Like there's definitely some sort of curse either upon this family or upon this house. Something weird is going on with the cousin, but I don't know. Still, I don't really have anything to say about it yet. So that's my 42% update. Okay, I have 12 pages left, so home stretch, let's go. Okay. I think this was a fine book overall. Definitely a lot of like, there was a lot of like mystery. I didn't really know like what was really going to happen kind of at like any point in the book, which I think was really frustrating. Like it was never like a this is the goal and this is how we're going to try to do it. It was more just like we're going to completely skirt around what the issue is and just hope that the bad things don't happen. But now we need to confront the bad things. So it was really like about the 75% mark that they were like, okay, let's do something about this world that we're in. So that was weird. I will say V. Schwab writes so beautifully. The descriptions of things, it's like her work is very easy to read, and I do really enjoy that. But I would say that this is like this was like just a kind of like a mid book. I would say maybe, hello, hi. I would probably give it 3.5 stars. Like, I liked it, I didn't love it. It was like a book of all time. But yeah, I'm gonna go make some dinner. It is 7:50. I'm gonna go make some dinner. Hello. This ends around midnight, 12:30 kind of. And thinking back on the books that I am gonna read next, I actually forgot that I have an arc of a book called The Lavender Blade. I am, how far into it am I? I'm only 15% into it. I have to finish it by the end of this month. And it says that I have 5 hours and 45 minutes left in it. So I probably won't be able to finish it today, but I should be able to make a pretty sizable dent in it. I'm not gonna lie, I have been getting like kind of sleepy today. What I should have done is gotten up earlier, like I said I was going to. Either drink an energy drink or taken an Adderall or something. That probably would have helped, but I didn't. That's okay. Yeah, I was, not that I was bored by this book, but just like sitting here, I was very like dropping the book and nodding off. But I've also been a little distracted today, like occasionally pulling up social media and scrolling for a little bit. So this has definitely not been like a 12 straight hours of reading, which I believe is very unrealistic anyways. It's been 12 hours in my life in which I'm prioritizing reading. But anyways, I'm gonna go make dinner and then we're gonna read Lavender Blade. So I finished dinner and now I'm sitting down to read The Lavender Blade. And well, one thing that's really frustrating about this, it's an ARC and it doesn't have like page numbers on it. It just has like the location and then like time left in the entire book. But I think it was in like chapter 7. I'm gonna read you this quote. I highlighted it because I was just like, this didn't just happen, but it says, "He extended his fingers in front of him like claws and let out a soft rawr, like R-A-W-R. the temptation to just put the book down and like DNF it after that. I'm gonna push through because I'm hoping it will redeem itself from that, but my God. No, it's 2025. We should not be putting RAR into our books. I don't think we ever should have been putting RAR into books. Stop it now. Edit that out before the final. Another issue that I have with this copy of the ARC is that paragraphs, it's just a formatting issue with the ARC, but paragraphs aren't indented. So sometimes like if a sentence goes all the way like almost to like the end of the line and then it starts a new sentence, it's like really difficult to tell sometimes that it's someone else speaking, and it all just kind of blurs together, which is, I get the conversations confused a lot, but that is, I'm hoping it's just like the formatting of the ARC. Colton, Lucian inquired. It smells like a butt. Colton hid his smile. Very astute observation, partner. It's that sort of intuitiveness which will solve many a case. But Lucian was right. It certainly did smell like a butt. This is very much an adult novel. Like, explicit language is used. Why are we having these really childish things? It's jarring. It's not meshing. Okay, I answered one text message and then accidentally fell down a scrolling rabbit hole for at least half an hour. But we have about 3 hours left in the readathon, and so far I've read about 40 pages. I'm estimating 40 pages of this book, so not making nearly the progress I want to. I have 5 hours and 9 minutes left in the book, it says. So I'll make a dent. If I lock in, I can make a dent in this book, but I won't be able to finish it today. But that's fine, that's fine. I knew I wouldn't. I wasted a lot of time today. But I have done a lot more reading today than I normally would do on any other day. So like, that is something to be proud of. Like, I'm not doing this to like, in any insane or unhealthy way. Like, I am still like, today's my day off, and today's a day that I have no obligation. So like, I'm gonna do this day how I want to. And it's really exciting that I have gotten to read a whole book in one day and then some. So I'm doing this 12-hour readathon, but like in a healthy way. Does that make sense? But yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so LOL. At like 9:30, my boyfriend called me and we talked on the phone for over an hour and a half. So I didn't get any reading done during that time. But you know what? That's okay. Again, I wasn't taking like the 12-hour rule super seriously. So I have a little over an hour for my like loose 12-hour reading marathon. So I'm gonna go lay in bed and read for that time. And then maybe if I feel like reading a little bit more, I will, but that's that. Okay, so it's a little after midnight, and I think I am officially calling it on the 12-hour reading marathon. I got to 33% in The Lavender Blade, and I read maybe like 90 to 100 pages in this book. Really hard to say. Again, like, it doesn't have page numbers in it. I'm basing it off of how many pages I can read per hour. Usually I can read 60 to 70 pages per hour, so I wrote down the time that I started it at, and I had 5 hours and 45 minutes left, and now it says I have 4 hours and 15 minutes left, so that's an hour and a half. So that's why I'm like estimating like 90 to 100-ish on that. But that's that. It's fine. I don't know. It's like not matching the description that I was provided, so I don't know. I'll keep going. We'll see. I'm a third of the way through. If I like really kind of put in some time and effort over the next couple of days, I'll be able to finish it just fine. Yeah, so overall, I finished Diary of the Left-Handed Birdwatcher. I started and finished Gallant, and then I've been working on this, so I feel like that was a pretty good 12-hour day. Very productive. She's so cute. Look how cute. You're just a baby. She just lays in these like goofy positions all the time. That does it for me. I'm exhausted. Reading for 12 hours. I mean, did I have those breaks in between? Sure, but like kind of just doing this for 12 hours really takes it out of you. So I'm gonna go to sleep now. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Say bye, Maisie. Bye.